Hi friends, it's Kate. I have a quick little video I wanted to do today with a art journaling tip. And I did this today because I had run out of my pre-painted pages. And so if you've seen any of my art journal videos before, you'll know that I like to work with pre-painted pages, and that's because I have this spiral sketchbook that I really like to use. And the pages aren't as thin as like copy paper or anything, but they're still pretty thin for the amount of wetness I'm putting on them. So one of the things I like to do is to paint them with some matte craft paint, and it takes just a couple of minutes per page to do, but it does two things. One, it helps to strengthen the paper a little bit, especially for any collage or anything I end up doing over the surface. And then the other thing is, there's nothing worse sometimes than having just a white blank piece of paper staring at you in the face. And so if you grab some papers and some paint and just pick some colors that sort of call out to you, and I usually do one or two, sometimes three colors on a page, and I just put down a thin coat, and it serves as kind of this instant inspiration when you finally get around to journaling on that page. And like I said, you can use any colors you want to. The sky's the limit, or I guess your craft supplies are the limit. But the whole idea behind this is just covering the page. You don't have to worry about where to put marks, where to do anything. You're just, having fun with some paint and plopping it down on the paper. And I usually use a brush, and then you get sort of a dry brush look a bit too, just depending on how thin your layer is, which the thinner the better, because I like to do a bunch at once. And so if it dries quickly, all the better. I'm not sitting here waiting for it to dry. So with the level I have it on right now in this video, it usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes for each page to dry. And then the nice thing about the matte craft paint is that it won't stick together. Now, if you don't have craft paint and you have just the regular tube acrylics that have kind of that satiny finish, sometimes those can stick. So if you have like a matte medium or something, you could put that over them. I mean, don't go out and buy paints you don't have just to do this, but if you do have them on hand, it's really nice to just kind of pull them out and use them. They're cheap, they come in all kinds of nice colors, and they're just a lot of fun to use. And they have kind of that thinner consistency that really helps. One of the things too is that sometimes you can get some color combinations that are just fabulous, and sometimes you get marks without trying that you end up really liking. There have been pages I've just incorporated into the journal page. You can cover it over or not, but sometimes it gives you some color combo ideas too. There was one spread I did here, and I just loved how it turned out. And actually, it's this one that we're on right now. When I got that color shaper tool and started going over it with the silicone, it just, oh, chef's kiss. I loved it so much with the purple and the teal, but teals and turquoises, they're just my favorite. They're my jam. So, and then this color shaper tool, it puts down such a nice thin coat, and it makes the paint spread so fast. So it actually saved me a ton of time, and I really liked sort of the overlapping transparency of the colors. Usually like the magentas and stuff that I work with and those types of colors like yellow are pretty transparent. So it actually had a really neat effect. And so I loved that color shaper so much. I ended up doing most of my pages with that. And I have some little ones that I got. They're kind of like, they look like paintbrushes, but they're silicone. And they make some pretty cool marks when you're doing painting, but I didn't have a bigger one. So this one is 2 inches, and boy, that thing will slap some paint down, I'll tell you. And like you can see, it's just a nice, quick process. And I've got this little bin of my craft paint sitting next to me, so I just grab bottles as I see them and I like the color. I try to vary it a bit so that I can have different interesting backgrounds when I'm ready to journal. So I really hope that you found this helpful, or maybe it gave you some inspiration and maybe you'll try it in your own art journal. I hope that you enjoyed this video and watching me prepare my pages with my new favorite tool. And this is the finished project. And now we have a whole bunch of new pages to work with in our journal. We have some interesting textures with the paint, just kind of the overlap and everything. It gives it that sort of 3D appearance in some pages, and they're just really fun to work with. So until next time, keep creating.